Ich darf nun gleich weiterführen zu einem Filmbeitrag, nämlich Be Brave von Wibke Müller und Mié Kohiyami. Wibke Müller ist Mitbegründerin der deutschen Be Brave-Bewegung. Entschuldigung. Sie ist Politikwissenschaftlerin und arbeitet als wissenschaftliche Mitarbeiterin an der Universität Greifswald. Von 2011 bis 2019 war sie Vorstandsmitglied von Wildwasser Berlin, einer feministischen NGO, die sich für die Prävention und die Heilung von sexualisierter Gewalt gegen Mädchen und Frauen einsetzt. Wibke Müller war Mitorganisatorin von 2 internationalen Kongressen, 2016 und 2018 in Berlin, mit rund 250 Überlebenden und Verbündeten aus 13 Ländern. Seit 2016 ist sie Mitglied des Deutschen Betroffenenrats, eines Gremiums, das die unabhängige Beauftragte für Fragen des sexuellen Kindesmissbrauchs berät. Und außerdem ist sie Mitglied der Arbeitsgruppe Schutz vor Ausbeutung und internationale Kooperation des Nationalen Rats der UBSKM. Ihre Kollegin Mié Kohiyami kommt aus Frankreich und hat sich dort zur Journalistin ausbilden lassen und fungiert als Aktivistin und Überlebende. Sie ist Mitbegründerin von Be Brave France, der französischen Partnerin der Brave-Bewegung. Als Co-Vorsitzende ist sie Teil der europäischen Taskforce von Be Brave Europe. Als Aktivistin für Kinderrechte in Frankreich setzt sie sich seit 2013 für ein gesetzliches Schutzalter, die Abschaffung der Verjährungsfristen und die rechtliche Anerkennung von verdrängten Erinnerungen ein. Außerdem beschreibt die Autorin unter dem Pseudonym Cécile B. ihren Weg als Überlebende im Roman Le Petit Vélo Blanc. Film ab.
Welcome everyone. Thank you for inviting us. My name is Wibke Müller and I'm a political scientist working as a researcher at a German university. I experienced childhood sexual violence in my family. I'm a survivor activist and I'm doing advocacy since 2010. And today I'm speaking here together with my friend and colleague Mié from France.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Wibke. I'm a child rights activist. I'm a trained journalist, but I'm also a survivor of childhood sexual violence. And I was raped when I was 5 by a 39-year-old cousin. These crimes fell into a dark hole of 32 years of repressed memory. Memory surged brutally after an emotional shock, and I filed a report against the perpetrator, which was dismissed about because of statute of limitations. And this is a battle I engage in France with other organizations against statute of limitations. And then I joined last year the Brave movement, and now I'm contributing to mobilize survivors organizations analyzed in Europe to end childhood sexual violence and strive for child safety online.
I'm a co-founder of the global Brave movement. The Brave movement is a social movement, not an NGO, a movement that is action-oriented and survivor-centered. Because everywhere in the world, survivors and survivor grassroots groups are the most important drivers for progressive and transformative policy change. Together with survivors from all continents, we founded the Global Brave Movement because childhood sexual violence is a global issue that belongs on a global agenda, and because prevention, healing, and justice are human rights. Last year, my focus was working on G7 level because Germany had G7 presidency. And I believe that the richest democracies have special responsibility to act and to protect all children everywhere. We urgently need more international cooperation on the issue. Although many countries had been working on the issue for decades, this policy area still is fragmented, it is under-resourced, and it is not well coordinated. Europe is a global hub for childhood sexual violence material. We urgently need child protection online. We urgently need more international cooperation because the internet is borderless and online crimes are borderless crimes. Online and offline crime is also a false dichotomy because every image shows a real crime against a real child, mostly committed by perpetrators in the inner circle of the child. And providers have the responsibility to ensure child safety online.
Absolutely. And between 2010 and 2020, there has been a 9,000 increase in abuse images online, according to the US National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. In 2021, there were nearly 29 million reported cases of online child sexual abuse material, 2 times more than in 2020, due to the dramatic rise during the lockdown due to the pandemic. And according to Internet Watch Foundation, 62% of CSAM material worldwide was hosted by European server between 2021, sorry. It will take, therefore, collaboration between citizens, institutions, policymakers, and non-profit organizations to tackle a problem of this scale. We urgently need child protection online, and this year the European Protection has proposed a groundbreaking regulation which calls for mandatory measures for internet providers to detect, remove, and report CSAM. Up to now, internet providers could only do it on a voluntary basis, which has proved to be insufficient. And these voluntary rules will end up in August 2024. This is the reason why we need a new regulation to ensure safe internet where children and adolescents are safe, secure, and free from all kinds of sexual violence. Technology companies, as Wibke say, have the tools available to detect, report and remove online violence materials and grooming, and we will continue to put pressure on them to prioritize child safety ahead of anything else. The Brave Movement therefore strongly backs the EU legislation with amendments to ensure that survivors' voices are heard. And this legislation really is about fighting childhood sexual violence as a whole. Online, offline, it's true, is a false dichotomy. Behind images, you have real crimes. Wibke say it, and I repeat it. It's important to hear it. Survivors are re-traumatized when they discover CSAM of the crimes is still circulating on the internet. And we know that it increases shame and guilt that prevent them from reporting these crimes, which are a kind of new digital slavery. These survivors are greatly vulnerable, and policymakers and adults have a responsibility to protect them. It is all the more urgent because the recent figures show that images and videos shared on the internet by perpetrators are more and more violent, are more and more concerning infants and toddlers. Moreover, self-generated content has surged dramatically in the recent years, and 96% of the reported CSAM in 2021 affected girls.
Yeah, that's true, Mié. And this is why we need to educate people and to invest in trainings and in capacity building to empower and enable parents, teachers, law enforcement, street workers, and more stakeholders. This is why this project is so important. And we need to bring in survivor voices and expertise in policymaking and decision-making to ensure inclusion and improve policy. This is why we propose to establish a European Survivor Committee based at the European Centre that is part of the CSA regulation, because we want policymakers and decision makers to listen and learn from survivors and to recognize that survivors are everywhere. We are your colleagues, your friends, your neighbors, your relatives, because everyone knows survivors. And sadly, everyone knows children who experienced sexual violence. And everyone knows perpetrators. We are calling on all organizations, all stakeholders and survivors to be brave and to engage in the public debate on the proposal, because we need action, not words. I know that the public debate around the CSA proposal in Germany is very polarized, but we need brave stakeholders to discuss the proposal. Silence and inaction are not enough. This debate indeed is a debate on fundamental and on human rights, because children's rights are human rights.
Absolutely, Wibke. And concerning France, a few words. France is the second host country of CSAM in Europe and the fourth in the world. There is a dramatic lack of means, only 50 dedicated law enforcement officers compared to 152 in the Netherlands and 321 in the UK. And France is supporting the proposed legislation, but there is a lack of information and engagement about it. And we are calling the French leaders to take the lead to support this legislation, which is major, crucial for the security of children on the internet worldwide.
We are calling Be Brave Germany.
Be brave France.
Be brave Europe.
Europe.
Wow. Eigentlich müssten wir jetzt hier mit den beiden Rednerinnen zusammen noch in die Diskussion gehen. Wir haben damit jetzt auch noch mal die wichtigste Perspektive in der ganzen Thematik gesehen, nämlich die der Betroffenen, der Überlebenden. Und vermutlich wird den Fachkräften unter uns klar, wie sehr wir hier noch strukturellen Nachholbedarf haben, um diese Perspektive in alle fachlichen Überlegungen einzubeziehen.